Welcome to the GHRC Know Your Member talk show. Today we are truly honored to host Sharmila Shastry, the founder of TechSculpt Technologies, a leader widely recognized for her ability to drive end-to-end business transformation across industries. Sharmila brings a powerful blend of strategic intelligence, operational clarity, and people-centric leadership. Over the years, she has partnered with organizations to rethink their business model, modernize operations, accelerate digital adoption, and build resilient cultures. By integrating people, process, and technology, she enables companies not just to transform but to sustain and scale the transformation long after the engagement ends. Her work goes beyond consulting. She serves as a catalyst, empowering leaders and teams to unlock new possibilities, embrace innovation, and operate with greater purpose and agility. Today, we look forward to understand her journey, her philosophy, and the impact she continues to create through TechSculpt. Uh, Welcome, Sharmila. Your professional journey reveals a deep commitment to diagnosing complex business issues and transforming them into scalable future ready strategies. Your emphasis on uncovering bottleneck before proposing solution reflects a highly thoughtful and analytical approach. What sparked your passion for business transformation, and how did your philosophy of diagnose, reimagine, transform evolve over the years?
Well, thank you for having me in this member introduction for GHRC, Rithika. It's a nice day to be doing this podcast. Well, the question, what sparked your passion, is I am an entrepreneur, a serial entrepreneur, had two companies before this. So the first company we started was Lumos Learning. And during that journey, I learned a lot, fell in a lot of pitfalls, had to kind of diagnose the problems. These were unknown to us earlier. So then dissecting those problems and then reimagining how it would work differently when we thought about it out of the box and how we could transform this problem into an opportunity and also a solution was what we did, what I did most of the times in my company in Lumos. And even before that, as in my childhood, right, I grew up in a joint family. My grandmother and grandfather had 10 kids, and all of them were in the same family. We all grew up, and their kids, that's us, right? All the 10 siblings' kids, we all grew up together. So we are about 25 cousins, all of us put together. And we all grew up together, and we had to come up with a lot of solutions for our problems that we used to have, everyday issues. For example, one thing that we had was, getting water for all of us, making water sufficient for all of us. So we had to, pull it out of the well. We used to take turns. We used to do teamwork. We used to do a lot of things during that time, right? But then the problem was the whole pulling out the water from the well and putting it in the containers and filling up the containers used to take anywhere from 1 hour to 2 hours for us. So then me and my uncle, we thought about this, and we thought about coming up with a system that would help us get 2 to 3 buckets of water at the same time. Like having 3 pulleys or 6 people doing the same job. So we came up with 100 different solutions for that. And because putting a motor was not an option at that time. So for a people of 30 to 40 people in the family, fixed crowd and a floating crowd that would end up at 60 meals per day, we had to come up with a lot of things that would help us, like speed up the process, while be it cooking, be it fulfilling the water needs or anything like that. So that was what the from very young age, that passion of coming up with solutions, thinking out of the box for finding solutions for the small problems that we had in an everyday life. That was the way of life for me. So that's what helped me in my entrepreneurial journey as well.
Your clarity of purpose is truly inspiring. Like literally, you started it from the childhood.
Yes.
Okay, so the
Yeah.
second question for you is a consistent thread in your work is the integration of people, process, and technology. While many organizations address these pillars in isolation, your approach brings them together to create holistic, sustainable transformation. Among people, process, and technology, where do you see organizations facing the biggest challenges and how do you help them bridge those gaps?
That's a very nice question that you asked me. It's a very important question for all the organizations, right? I can't just pinpoint on one thing that is the main problem. But the biggest problem or the challenge that I see right now is putting in scalable processes all through the organization and tying those processes, making sure that these processes will lead to the attainment of the company's goals, right? So you have processes in place. All companies have processes in place, but then they are not very clear, they are not scalable, and they do not meet the company's they do not take the company in the path of their goals, whatever the goals the company has set. So where I see lacking is process. So if we take, for example, if we take the pillar people, right, the process of hiring the right people at the right time, most of the time I see, we keep doing wrong hires. That's what I keep hearing. But why do you do wrong hires? Do you when I start asking them the question, do you really go deep into analyzing your people needs? Do you put the job descriptions properly? Do you have a hiring process, the interview process that is there? So how do you select the candidates? So from there, when you see that the processes are not in place, and probably when we go to the technology also, the HRMS sits alone, the CRM sits alone. So there is no way that these all the tools in the company or all the software tools that are sitting in the company are talking to each other. So data is lost, and there is a lot of things that happen there also. So there is no process or ways to tie up all the data that is there. So I would say that the biggest challenge companies face is the process, having the right processes.
Appreciate that insight. This truly reflects the realities of modern transformations. Yeah, so,
So you also asked me how do we help them bridge these gaps, right? So it's
correct.
all in asking the right questions. Understanding, first of all, it takes me about a month or two to understand their market, their target audience, their goals, the company's purpose and goals. Once we understand all that, we put in the right questionnaire in place, and then understand what they want to do, and then follow up with the right strategies for them.
Okay, that's great. So, moving on to the third question, let's talk a little bit about TechSculpt Technologies. So, TechSculpt has positioned itself as a firm that delivers deeply customized strategies rather than generic solutions. Your focus on understanding each organization's unique context ensures that the strategies you design are both practical and future ready. So TechSculpt is known for its bespoke strategy solution. What sets your approach apart from other consulting firms in today's transformation landscape?
Most of the times what happens is most of the consulting companies kind of start getting into analyzing the issues the way the founders want them to analyze. They look at the company through the founder's eyes, right? So but for us it is more than the founder's eyes. It's what the purpose, the mainly we understand that each organization is unique, and each founder is unique, and each purpose why the organization was found is unique. So getting to the root cause of what is happening takes a lot of understanding of the organization itself. So that's where we set ourselves apart. We do a very deep analysis of the founders, the stakeholders, and the organization. even before getting into giving our solutions or even doing strategies. So that's where we set ourselves apart. And another thing that we that TechSculpt has is very hands-on experience in solving problems. Thinking out of the box is another thing that we do. We usually don't apply the same methodology for each company because, like I said in the beginning itself, each organization is different. So customizing our strategies to the needs of the organization is what we do best.
That sets your organization identity and value a little different.
Yes.
Okay, so the next question is your initiatives range from C suite capability building to graduate training. This shows TechSculpt's ability to support talent development across the entire spectrum, from emerging professionals to the top leadership. How does TechSculpt manage the diverse learning need of both senior leaders?
What we do is we don't create or give out a cookie cutter training program for everybody. For leaders in specific roles need specific kind of training that is very customized to the role that they are in, and also it is very organizational specific. So I can't give the same training that I would give a tech leader to a manufacturing leader, right? A tech builder is completely different. We need to give them a complete different background, different kind of training, different kind of mindset training, coaching, everything would be required for them. But when you move into a manufacturing industry, the leadership there is completely different. So we understand the needs of the organization, needs of the role, and then we tailor our training program to the needs of uh, to 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 cater to the needs that are there, right? So that's one thing that sets us apart from all the training and coaching centers that are there. One, two, we are we do an end-to-end coaching session or a training that is needed, and we have our own um, what I would say flagship training program that we have right now is our chief of staff training. So I was also a chief of staff. I have been in association with a lot of chief of staff, and I have a membership at the Chief of Staff Association of America. And I bring in a lot of a wealth of knowledge from both ends of the world. So trying to bridge India's chief of staff and getting them to the level where the world is right now is something that I bring in unique, and that's what the program also takes forward, right? So what we teach in the program is more practical. We apply a lot of practical knowledge, and we have a lot of other chief of staff around the globe that come and talk in our programs as well. So that is one of the unique thing that we do. As of now, that's one of the flagship program that we have for training the leaders, C-suite leaders.
So you believe customization of training program creates impact?
Yes. Customization not only to the role, but also to the organization.
Organization, right? So the overall thought process which is going on, it creates impact at different level right now.
Yes. And the way we also set up these training programs for the company itself is that it also helps the company to train the future leaders in the company.
Right.
So we don't have that one thing. That's the biggest gap that we saw when we started out the training programs, right? So the gap was that when we did the L&D, when we started doing the L&D analysis and creating strategies for L&D, that's where we saw the gap was. Training and building future leaders was lacking. So now this gives a career path, a training path, and level by level a training where the employees that are inside the company that have been with you for a long time and that have shown loyalty have the ability to ramp up and become the leaders of the company.
That's interesting,
Thank
actually.
you. Thank you.
Okay. So the next question is, given today's rapidly evolving business environment, leadership requirements are changing dramatically. So, your focus on future ready leadership development reflects a deep understanding of what organization needs to stay competitive. From your perspective, what leadership competencies will be more essential for C suite professionals over the next 3 to 5 years?
Um, well, that's a tough question. Next 3 to 5 years. See, currently what I'm seeing is there has to be a lot of clarity in decision making, and amidst all the complexity that is there, right? The pace in which the technology is changing nowadays, from AI to automation to global scaling, global scale digitization and everything, it's only accelerating. It's accelerating in a speed where leaders have to catch up. Right now, if any leader tells me that I do not want to know how AI can help my company, then I will tell them that you will be left behind. No, then you'll be very late to catch the bus. So what we do at TechSculpt is that we brainstorm with the organizational leaders, and then we put in our transformation roadmaps for the clients, transition roadmaps, transformation roadmaps, and everything. So when we do a technology gap analysis, that's where we bring in the AI and we bring in all that. We kind of brainstorm with them and tell them where really AI can help them. So just clarity of in decision making is something that's very important. One. Two, adaptability and continuous learning. Leaders going forward have to be really, they have to make them adaptable for the technology that is there, for the people that are coming in, for everything that's changing in this landscape. They have to be continuous learners as well. And then they have to think a lot on people-centric thinking. A lot of people, they do not do people-centric thinking. It's always about the customers, it's always about the technology, it's always about the world outside, but what about the world within you? So that's what it is, from adaptability, change adaptability to all learning and cross-functional collaboration, and also thinking on the lines of systems, and purpose-led leadership is the last one that I would like to say. That is very, very, very important. A purpose in your leadership is very important.
So, all these points provide a great guidance to the future leaders.
Hope so.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you.
This question just randomly popped up in my mind. What inspired you to name your organization TechSculpt? It's kind of interesting.
Thank you. I like to call myself, because I'm a creative person. I like to call myself creative. So creative is sculpting. I do some work of sculpting sometimes myself. So that's what led. Tech is something that I really. I'm not a creator of tech, but I know how to use tech, and I know how to create, but not code and all that stuff. So I'm a um, so that's why, putting those two together, I called it Tech Sculpt. And a lot of my team members, it was not just me, it was my co-founder, my head of founder's office, all those people that are there. They kind of, I have my team. When I say it is all of my team. So I'm very proud of my team. So I call it, I always say I. So my team is something that came up with this name, and also the logo that you see here. That also was done by my team members. So we all started out together. 8 of us started out together, and now we are where we are.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so here with the last question. There is a growing concern about industry readiness among fresh graduates as academic curriculums often lag behind market needs. So, TechSculpt's graduate program appear to be designed specifically to bridge the skill gap. What are the most common gaps you observe in fresh graduates today, and how does TechSculpt structure its program to address them effectively?
Ah, need of the hour question, huh? So I come from the knowledge that is required from both worlds, right? I've done a lot of hiring for US companies. When I was in the consulting back in US, I used to do a lot of hiring as well for the programs there in the US, for the jobs there in the US. And I also used to work with some consultants and hiring consultants. And most of the time, that's what they said. And when we did the interviews as well, the biggest gap that I see in the kids that are here in India and around the world is that we are good at we are good at book knowledge. We do not teach practicality. We do not teach practical problems. How do they apply the theory in the practical sense? And that's where the big gap is. So what we at TechSculpt do is that we create scenarios for them, be it interview scenarios, be it articulating their projects. How do they explain their projects? That is the biggest thing. They have done phenomenal work when it comes to learning, when it comes to doing projects, when it comes to equipping themselves with knowledge. But while putting it out there, while communicating the same thing, they are not very good at it. So that is one thing we teach them, how do you communicate your knowledge to the world in a way that the world wants to understand?
So this
So
gives
that's
us
what,
a strong understanding of how TechSculpt shapes early career talents.
yes, that's what we do. Now, there's a lot of tech talent that they have. There's a lot of practical. I mean, there's a lot of if you go to any engineering schools, right, like the computer science schools that are there, or any engineering vertical you take, they're good with what they do, be it electronics, be it electrical, mechanical. They're very good at their subject matter. But when it comes to interviewing and articulating the projects that you have, the ideas that you have in your mind, they fail. So that is why we do a lot of mock interviews, and we do train them in a way that tell them that here is where you kind of did not do well. Here's how you need to pick up this thing. Here's how you can explain it better. Here's how you can do this better. So that's one thing. And then I found that English has deteriorated in the world, in today's world. Unfortunately, the rest of the world speaks English. And
You're
we,
talking about the Gen Z? Or
sorry?
you're talking about the Gen Zs?
Yes. The grammar is gone for a toss. And when you're writing emails, it's hard for people like us to understand. And most of the C-suite leaders are people like me, right? So I'm like, when you tell me, how are you, like HRU, I'm like, okay, how do I understand this? Right? So emails are also like that nowadays. So helping them to get off of that, you can
Got
be
it.
conversational, as much as conversational as you want to be, but you can't do a shorthand writing, right? We used to call it shorthand notes.
It's not just the short forms that they use, but then they use, but me being a Gen Z, we do
Yeah.
use couple of other words, other terms for a couple of words, yes. And the Alpha language is even more different.
I know, I know.
Yeah,
And then when
that
I'm giving lectures, and my when I'm talking to them, or when I'm trying to make them understand a concept, I have to sit with my nephews, kids, and all those people, and then come up with my speeches so that I don't bore them.
is right.
But unfortunately, they need to understand is that the working world is not like that. Their managers are not, they might have older managers, and they have to adapt. And that's
Right,
another thing that I've been seeing in current generation. They're not adaptable.
right, and that's there.
They're very set in their ways. Everything has to be handed out. So it's
The
tough. Yeah.
discipline of being in a corporate is not there.
Yeah.
Totally.
And mentorship is lacking. That's
Hmm.
what I saw. And in most of the in most of the colleges that I went into, the most of the institutions, there's no mentorship. There's no real world experienced mentor that is there to give them real knowledge that is needed outside. So that's where we bridge that gap. And then we kind of create scenarios where they really have to come prepared. They can't just walk into the interview just like that.
That's there.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I am done with my questions. Is there
Thank you.
something that I have missed out on asking, or if you have something that you want to share it to the GHRC members, please do share it.
As of now, I think just wanted to give a little bit because TechSculpt does a lot of things. So just to clarify what we do, we have four different services that we give. One is complete end-to-end business consulting that we do for companies' exponential growth. Then second thing, we focus on learning and development for corporates. We end-to-end from gap analysis to strategizing and putting in the plan for their growth, for the employees' growth and everything. So we do that. And we also author e-learning courses for them wherever needed. And the third one that we do is branding services for healthcare companies. We just started that recently. That's one other thing that we've been doing fantastically for the past 2 years. And then the last but not the least is the pro bono thing that we're doing for the graduate students. So this is what TechSculpt is all about.
Thank you so much. It's more of an ecosystem kind of a thing. Thank you so much for sparing time for this interview and sharing about your journey and the insights. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me here. It was great talking to you, Rithika.
Thank you so much.
Have a good day. Bye.